their car with their head up, looking around, staying away from the back ends of other cars and things like that, so that I can see around them, and coming up to my car with my keys in my hand. It will be much easier to pick a person who's walking along with their groceries, and head down, and they're tired, and they're not paying much attention to anything. That's the person they pick. They don't pick an alert person with something in their hand that they might be able to use. Okay? And there are a good many things you can use, including a can of pop, or a bottle of pop, or something like that, or an umbrella. Many, many different things. Okay, common mistakes people make. Getting into an attacker's car. Don't do it. Covered this, really. Run screaming. Pulling over when a man drives alongside you and points at your car and pretends something is wrong with it. Well, you should know if something's wrong with your car, you know, and if it isn't serious enough that it's made you aware of it, there's certainly no reason to quickly pull over. Drive on, go to a place where they can give you service, there's well lit, many people, go ahead and pull over and check your car out in a place where they can't do anything. You may think they want to assist you, and maybe they do, maybe not. Not locking your doors while you're driving. Now, a good many of us, our cars lock themselves when we drive nowadays. But if your car doesn't lock itself, make sure all your doors are locked when you're driving your car. Never have an open door. People will get in. We have many opportunities to stop when we're driving, don't we? Every stop sign, every stop light, sometimes we have to wait 3 or 4 minutes at one. Lots of time available for people to walk up, get in your car with you, and then you're in bad shape. By the way, if somebody does that, what do? Get out. Get out the other side.
Take your keys and get it.
Yeah? Oh, if you had your pepper spray handy, of course.
No.
Then you might get yourself to a party. All right. You open your front door to anybody that knocks, right? Okay. Peephole would be a good idea. A side window is a good idea. Don't open your door to anyone you don't know. Have them identify themselves. See if the story sounds right. Don't open your door. You come home, you find the front door open. You go inside, see what's going on. Go next door, call the police. Unless you happen to have left your front door open, I guess, but, you know, I don't think that's a good idea. Even then, you need to be wary that someone might be in there. Not paying attention in parking lots. You pull in, you want to go shopping at a store, and you park anywhere. Right? Big parking lot, you park anywhere. So it's light outside. You may be shopping for a couple of hours. You come out, it may be dark. Park under a light. Even if it's light outside. When you come out at night, you're in a well-lit area, it's much more difficult for anyone to conceal anything. When you're walking along, your keys in your hand, look alert, have a purpose, be ready, and get in your car and lock the doors immediately. Don't take all day to load your car up. Don't open your trunk and stand there loading things in your trunk. Okay? You may think, well, that's difficult, but there are ways to do things a little more alertly. You don't want to put all your concentration on your head in the trunk and be so easily approached, maybe loaded in the trunk, and they take your keys and drive off with you. Don't trust a clean-cut, honest-looking stranger. Most serial killers fit that description. Trusting people to be alone with your children. Unfortunately, most assailants are people we know or relatives. And that's just a fact. So be suspicious and pay attention to what your child says or how your child feels about that. Next, not fighting back. Studies show that about half the people who fight back, women who fight, they stop, they quit. Okay? The assailant quits. Now that doesn't help the other half all that much, you know, but I'll take 50% over nothing. So you're better off to fight, and then you may be successful in that as well. And assuming that people do not mean you any harm. It's nice, it's a wonderful world we live in, but unfortunately somewhat dangerous. In your weapons, how to carry and use weapons. Pepper spray or mace, carry it ready and in I say, a visible position. Now what that means is, you have the pepper spray and you're headed to your car, or you're in a open situation. Now if you're in a crowded situation, yeah, there's probably you don't walk around with your pepper spray out. Okay, but if I'm headed to my car, my pepper spray is in my hand. It's probably attached to my keys, right? It's got a key ring on it. So I'd have it there and have my thumb right there, ready to flip it off. You think somebody will attack you? That would be a poor choice for him, wouldn't it? He wouldn't want to pick that person. A hesiton is a short stick. And I meant to bring one and left it at home. It's about so long, sometimes called a kubaton, sometimes has a point on the end. They even make them that look like brass knucks and everything like that. The thing about those, if you carry one into the school or into a government building or get on a plane or something, it is a recognizable weapon and will be judged. My daughter had one taken away from her when she went into the tax building downtown, for heaven's sakes. I thought it was ridiculous and they didn't give it back. But yeah, it was a weapon, so they took it away from her. But you can carry one in your purse, you can carry it attached to your keys, you just got to be careful where you go with it. Okay? But the thing about a hesiton, it's a short stick, right? So's that, right there. It's a short stick. Nobody will take it away from you. Okay? So you can do anything with that, you can do with that short stick. Okay? I can stab somebody with it, I can gouge somebody with it, I can strike with it, I can control with it. You know, if he comes up and grabs me and I have an ink pen in my hand, I can come up here and go like this, he'll want to let go. Okay? Because that increases the pain greatly, and all I did is lever it down on his wrist. Okay? So a lot of things you can do with just an ink pen. Whenever I get on an airplane, I've got a strong, big-barreled ink pen when I get on an airplane because I remember what happened a few years ago. And I don't want to be unarmed. And that's a sneaky way to be armed. Umbrellas or canes are great. Okay, they're easy to use as weapons. I don't know if any of you remember what a rat-tail comb is. Okay, but you can get one. And they even make them out of metal. And a rat-tail comb has that sharp handle on it, which makes it an excellent weapon two different ways. You can grab the handle and use the teeth as a rake or even a blade, and you can grab the teeth and use the handle. Hot liquid, great stuff. Ask anybody that gets McDonald's coffee and spills it, right? A full pop can is very heavy and strong. By the way, an empty pop can is not, right? Bottles or glass. Use the neck or the base. Don't use the barrel of a bottle. You don't want to break the bottle. If you break the bottle, you'll cut your own hand, and the force won't matter too much. Okay? It'll break, and the guy will probably go, oh, that hurt a little bit. But if you hit him with the neck of that bottle, or the butt end of the bottle, that's strong and forceful, and it's quite an effective weapon. Purses, book bags, shopping bags, swing them. Hit somebody with them, you can do that. Belts, chain type or leather with heavy buckle. You people are rodeo fans. That's the best self-defense buckle there is. And belts make a very effective flail. And a flail is anything that you can whip somebody with, right? As a whipping action. Heavy boots with strong pointed or strong pointed toe shoes. If you wear cowboy boots, they're great. Okay, but tennis shoes not so good. That's what we all wear most of the time, right? Other ways to control an attacker: if you get a hold of anybody's little finger, anybody's stronger than everybody's little finger. Okay, if you bend it backwards, they're not going to to enjoy that much. And then there are other circle and pull out, break offs and control techniques that can be learned, but they require just a ton of practice. Okay, so little fingers are probably the easiest thing. My main rule when I'm teaching self-defense is the last one. Nothing always works. So keep in mind that no matter what you might try to do, don't be surprised when it doesn't work. You try one thing and it doesn't work, it's time to try something else. So A, B, and C need to follow if A didn't work. Okay, and that, again, is a matter of practice. When we talked about keys, I did put some keys together. I put some extra keys together. You may have noticed my awful looking key array here. These keys right here I actually use. Okay? The rest of this means very little to me. In fact, these keys are out of date and unusable. Okay? But why are they there? Well, with those keys in my hand, I can defend myself very well. Okay? So you can imagine if someone were to attack me and I were to come across the face like that, come back like that, what would their face look like? You know what the keys would do to them? Cut them to pieces. Okay? Very vicious weapon. Now, self-defense is nasty business. If you have to fight, if you have to defend yourself, remember the rules. There are none. There are no rules. Okay? It's a matter of survival. And so, there are no rules. Natalie's going to help me show you a few basic things, and I'm going to let you try a few things. Common strikes is at the bottom of the one that says common mistakes. Hammer fist strike, and yeah, those bags will be fine. A hammer fist strike is a strike thrown with this part of the hand. So it doesn't really require a whole lot of training in how you position your hand to throw a hammer fist strike. Okay, so if the bag is up, I want to throw a hammer fist strike, I can throw the strike. There. Okay, and that's basically the way you would do it. Now I pulled back on that strike, and you would not. Okay, you would want to come through the bag. Always strike beyond the point you intend to hit. If you hit somebody in the nose, and that's all you do, you may stun them, you may make them feel bad about it, their nose might bleed, but they're not going to be affected much. If you hit the back of their head through their nose, it makes a world of difference. It won't really happen. You won't have brain matter in your hand. I promise. Okay? So what can you do with this if you just put them down? Okay, I can take that to strike the bridge of the nose. I can strike the collarbone with it. I can change the angle, strike the side of the throat with it. I can change the angle, strike the groin with it. They're hammer fist strikes. They're easy to throw. Okay, they really are. Remember to follow through. Palm heel strikes. These are great. Most people that hit with their palms think of slapping folks, don't they? Okay, this is not a slap. So you take the heel of your hand, if you hold it out. When I strike with the heel of my hand, it's almost as though I were punching, but I don't use my knuckles. So again, I don't have to particularly train fist position and wrist position. Because if I'm striking with the heel of my hand, I know good and well that the bones of my lower arm are behind the heel of my hand. What people get into trouble with on fists is they don't know how to properly make a fist, and they don't know which knuckles to properly hit with, so a lot of people break their hands or sprain their wrists. It's very common. But here, that's fairly unlikely unless you get your finger in the way. Then you're going to strike with the palm of your hand. Where you would strike with that? Here. Okay? Here. Would be very effective. Also, the palm of the hand in a round action to the ear. Okay? And that's going to make somebody sick. All right, you compress the ear hard when you do that. You can even do a double with that. And palm heels will work to other portions of the body as well, but to those areas are most effective. And even when I do braking, you know, on belt tests and so on through the years, I've always preferred a palm heel because it doesn't mess my knuckles up. A side kick. Now, you've watched enough TV to probably see side kicks, and when you see them, they're way up here. And when we do taekwondo, we're kicking up here, and Vitaly has some beautiful high kicks. But our side kicks are going to be low. And a side kick is a stomping action. When you do a side kick, you're really just stomping, almost as though you would stomp the floor. If you stomp the floor, you'd just stomp straight down, wouldn't you? Okay? You wouldn't stomp it like this. You would stomp, if you're stomping a bug, you would stomp it right there. So with the side kick, you're simply stomping right there. Because the knee's good enough. And that's what you would do. You would simply go to the leg right there. Stomp through the knee. It's going to make them maybe a little slower than you. You can run away. Okay? I always figure I got to damage them really badly to outrun anybody, but that's what you would do. And nothing any higher, really. Shin is also effective, but knee or shin, or back of the leg, if you happen to get them turned, there helps to collapse the knee so that they go down. So that's your side kick. Elbows. Elbows to the head, elbows to the solar plexus. You get in tight with, let me take those away from you. Okay? And let's say he grabs a hold of me. Okay? Now it's time to get these hands off me. But he's in tight now, and there's a lot of things I can do because he's so close to me. He really is kind of helping me. Okay, so the things I was talking about with palm heels, okay, even, you know, knees, elbow strikes here, we're coming across here, we're coming up in there. If I can turn, coming back in there, and then hammer fist there, it'll all be good. Okay, those are ways that you can use elbows. Knees to the groin and abdomen, I think I just demonstrated that inadvertently. Finger or thumb gouges to the eyes. Okay, if a person grabs a hold of me and I can get to their face, and I always tell my students there's a perception of danger. You know, because kids, a lot of times, they just have friends that get rough with each other, right? And they grab a hold of them and they're wrestling around and doing things. There's no danger in that particularly. But if you don't know the person, or if this person is a lot bigger than you, or if the person is obviously much stronger than you, or has a motivation that might mean that you're in severe danger, then you react accordingly. And there's appropriate force. I always talk about appropriate force. If Vitaly grabs a hold of me, it would not be appropriate for me maybe to gouge his eyes, because I know him. But if I did not, then I might come up here, gouge the eyes, okay? Or I might come in here, drive up on the nose, grab the ear, twist it, okay? Come to the groin, strike. So there's so many different things you can do. Strike the throat, either that way or that way, okay? A lot of different things. If he's choking me, then the options are that I can just come back here and use my elbow strike right there. That's not hard to do. Anybody can do it. Also, the ear, here, strike to the ear. They're liable to turn loose. Or just break them off, get away. The head. Oh, by the way, another thing, if they got a hold of you and you're keeping yourself inside, you can actually go here and use the thumbs to the eyes. That's always a good one, too. Assuming people, oh, never mind. Head, thrust your head back into the attacker's face. So if he grabs me from behind, okay, thrusting the head back. You can actually go here as well. So you use the head and the butt. Step aside, hammer strike. They're simple things, but you just need to be aware of those. And you can tell a lot about where that person's head is by where their breath is on the back of your head. Okay, let's, you guys want to do any of this stuff?
It's fun.
Yeah? You want to do some of it? Okay. It's not hard. Vitaly, be glad to hold the bag for you. I'll be glad to hold the bag for you too. Okay, so let's get up here and do some hammer strikes. Come on, get up here and do some hammer strikes. All right. Oh, that was powerful. All right, he's got it. Oh, okay.
EMT.
Follow through. That hurt your hand? Now, there you go. That was effective.
Get mad. It's
All right.
okay to hit somebody.
Okay, palm heel strike. Now with the palm heel, you think about it's not a slapping action, okay? So you think about when you're going to strike to get your elbow behind the strike, okay? Because if you do this, you're not going to have a lot of power with this strike. Okay, you want to go straight inward. All right, so let's try that out. Good. Okay, now, one thing I would tell you, if you're going to hit somebody, you want to be careful about going like that, because when you do that, it's telling them what you're going to do, okay? So if I'm going to hit here, then I don't want to tell him, I just want to do it, okay? So from where you are, you want to be ready to do what it is you're going to do. So that was powerful and almost got me.
Try to use your front arm. Yeah, if you stand sideways, how you were standing before?
Like this?
Okay, yeah, this way you use this arm. So like if I stand here, my arm, this arm closer, right? So it's come first.
All right, and it's a very good point. If you're going to kick someone or hit them, the closest point is your closest arm or leg. And when we are actually teaching people how to spar, okay, we'll just tell them to lead with a front hand or a front leg, or at least divert attention away from what it is you're going to do. Now, in a self-defense situation, a lot of times you can be here and you can do something like this. I don't want to fight, and do it with whichever leg then, because you've diverted their attention. They're watching your hands, and I like that. I like to make them watch my hands in a non-threatening way. I don't want to fight, and okay, I am, but be sneaky and try to be fairly sound with what it is you're doing. Okay, the side kick, I think we need the big bag, and only one person can hold it, so Vitaly, I guess it'd be you.
You're gonna let people kick you.
Okay, I'll demonstrate first, okay? He's going to hold it pretty low. And when you're holding a bag, if you ever do practice with someone, notice how he's holding it. When I kick that, it's going to affect his knee. And that's the way he wants it to bend, right there. Okay? If he were holding it like this, that would be a bad idea. I'd hyperextend his knee. Okay, so he knows which way he wants his knee to go. And when I kick, it's going to be quick right there, okay? Quick to the knee. So it is a stomp. You might, in place where you are right now, just do this. Just do this. Straight up, straight down, straight up. Straight down, straight up. Then when you do the kick, same thing.
I know the knee is probably the preferred move with the toes, foot.
You can stomp anywhere, okay? The shin is great. Here, one of the things that I like to tell people to do when somebody's behind you, another way that you can do things is you can go here, come to the knee, rake the shin all the way down and stomp the foot. And if you've got a good solid edge to your shoe, like I do, You can cause quite a lot of pain and abrasion there. So,
Okay, this is not funny, hang on.
that's good. Do that again, though. Do that again. Everybody ought to do that at least a couple of times. Whoa, that's, you're
Okay,
getting
that's
it.
good. Okay.
All right.
Practice on a wall.
All right.
Somebody.
Come on, Dylan, come on.
Oh, wow.
Okay, watch the red thing. Good, very effective.
That's good.
Very good.
He just taken Taekwondo, right?
Yeah, he's been a student of mine in the past. And he's coming back. So good news for me. Okay, we want a little more excitement here. One more time, let's be mean. Oh, well, be mean, be mean, be mean. There we go, all right. That's not bad. Okay, now, every time you do that, you seem to fall forward a little bit. So what you want to think about is retrieving. What we do, we teach in Taekwondo, you throw the kick, retrieve the kick. So when I was doing this, you want to be retrieving it. See how I pulled it back? That keeps me from going like that. Something to think of. Let's see, what else is on the list here? Let's do, flip kick, that's fun. I don't actually teach that in Taekwondo at all. I don't teach flip kicks. We use a hand target for flip kick. Well, that one will be fine. Okay. What he'll do, a flip kick is a groin kick. I like to tell people that you know when it's appropriate by the sign that they give you. And they give you a sign. This is the sign. V for victory. Here's the V. Okay, so if they're giving you the V, you know you may be successful with this kick. And all it is, if you've ever kicked a soccer ball up in the air, that's exactly what you're doing. Kicking the soccer ball in the air. Okay? So it's just going to be here. And you'll want to follow through with the kick. It's going to be groin level, so you need to be a little lower. Okay? Just like that. Now you want to make this fairly quick. So again, hands up, maybe divert a little bit. He's giving you the V, and you're going, well, I don't really want to fight. And maybe he's in a different position. All right, let's try the flip kick. You're kicking with the top of your foot. Get it nice and low then. Okay, don't kick him.
Wow, good job.
Good
Look at that.
Someone play soccer.
Okay.
I
He played soccer.
Next.
I'm gonna get you inside your pocket.
He's real non-threatening because he always has his hands in his pocket. So he's saying, I'm not going to use my hands. You just have to be good enough to take these feet. Good.
You're
Good.
better at that one, huh? Did you teach your daughter to kick? All right, there you go.
All right, that'll teach him. No. Good. All right. Yeah, and that's not a, typically a martial artsy type of kick, but it's a great self-defense kick. And, I tell people in self-defense classes, you never kick anybody in the head unless their head is lower than their waist. And then it's okay. And there are ways to get their head down there. A good kick to the groin might just do that. So one flip kick to the groin and the next one to the face.
Yeah, not like that.
Quite possible. Quite possible. Okay, knees, elbows. Okay, probably be safer to use the shield for elbows. Okay, so the belly's holding the elbow. Okay, the different ways to throw an elbow. If we're in close, you can throw what we would call an inside elbow, which is right here. Okay, And you want to use your weight in an elbow. You don't just want to go like that. That doesn't mean much. So you want to actually turn through the elbow, strike here. As you can see, there's a lot more effect to that. And again, that's what we would call an inside elbow. This is what we would call more of a straight in elbow, or sometimes an uppercut elbow here, okay, that you can use. And we'll do one more. So you're going to use 3 elbows. You're going to do an inside, you're going to do an uppercut, then I want you to do an elbow to the back, and in most cases they've got a hold of you, you're going to dig in with this elbow, okay? You could also throw one like that. It really depends on the position you're in. But here, throw the elbow is a good strong strike. A good way to break a hold. Sometimes breaking a hold involves pivoting. They have your upper body, they don't have your hips. So you can pivot out and strike, pivot out and strike. Okay? So, inside elbow, straight in, back. Fun. Okay. Not bad.
Thank you.
All right, when you use an elbow, you're going to be close.
Use your body.
Yeah, it's not so much a push as it is a strike. One of the nice things about the elbow strike here is that you do have time to reach out if you want to. They don't know what you're doing when you reach out with this, because you're reaching away from them. So they're going,